What's up, guys? Chris Puckett coming at you from the NOS Performance Center here in New York City. Today I'm joined by StarCraft 2 Pro Pain User, and today we have the Performance Playbook. Pain User, what are we learning today?
Today we are going to be going over scouting for the NOS Performance Playbook, and it's something a lot of people think is very basic, but there's some finer nuances to it, and I'm going to go over some of those and hopefully get people better at their lower level and higher level scouting.
Awesome, well let's get into it. So here, as we start up the game, what are the three keys you're going to look out for while scouting this game?
Three keys to scouting this game are going to be staying active while scouting, not being afraid to trade away units in order to get valuable intel, and then scouting important areas on the map where my opponent might be doing something.
All right, here as the Protoss we have Siphon, and then you of course playing as the Terran, and I'm just going to let you take this one away, Pain User.
All right, well on this map I like to scout relatively early, especially in tournaments, because I have most definitely lost several games on this map due to proxies, proxy gateways, stuff like that. So probably going to go ahead and scout on 11 when my 11th SCV pops out, and I'm going to check out the majority of my base, make sure it's clear, and then I'll head over to my opponent's base and try and figure out what he's up to. So right here, I'm just clearing out my main base, and then I'm going to check behind the minerals at my natural, behind the trees over there, check both Xel'Naga towers, and then check his base. Alright, so now I'm taking my first peek in my opponent's base. You want to figure out exactly what he's up to, check his gas. He just started mining his gas, so he didn't gas before his gateway. It's really important to note things like that. Gotta watch out for DT rushes and stuff like that. So. Also want to keep your scouting SCV real active. Make sure you don't lose it. Constantly be running around your opponent's base, trying to figure out what he's up to, what he's not up to. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can infer from scouting information.
So there you saw he had a second gas going up. What does that tell you?
Well, he's probably going to be teching. More than likely either doing some kind of a... Well, it doesn't necessarily mean he's teching. It could mean a number of things. He could either be teching, he could be making sentries early on and then expanding, or he could be going to some kind of, Stargate or DT build, which is also teching, but it's one of those three things. They're either going to go sentry heavy or they're going to do some kind of gas heavy tech build. And the only way you can really figure it out is just to continually scout. So he's got a second gateway going up here. I want to keep this SCV alive, but wasn't able to, so I'm going to send out another one right away. You want to send that SCV out before the Stalker gets to the Xel'Naga. So I want to get that down on his side of the map and just hide it somewhere, because it's not so important right now. So it's good to hide your second scouting SCV somewhere on the map. It's really important. Keep it somewhere hidden and it's not going to die. And I'm going to go in, try and figure out what he's up to. It's right around the 6-minute mark, and this is when you want to figure out exactly what your Protoss opponent is doing. Build a bunker because he doesn't have a natural expansion. Okay, so I saw a third gateway going up right there, and I saw pretty much all not gas heavy units, and he went double gas. So at this point I know something's up. I'm going to start scouting all over the map. Okay, I just saw a probe coming up from over there, so he probably has a Stargate right here, at the other side of my natural.
And what makes you think it's a Stargate?
Well, there's Void Rays at my front door.
That's a big one, yep.
And I gotta focus for a second. That was a pretty good push right there. The reason I thought it was Void Ray is because he had absolutely no gas units in his gateway army, and I didn't see anything that led me to believe he was going DT. Like generally, somebody will push out and be more aggressive on the map. If they wait for a long time like that, generally means they're going with Void Rays.
So now we're approaching the 11-minute mark. When's the next time you're going to want to go out and scout more?
I'm probably going to scout with my push at the same time, which is another thing you can do. You don't always have to just scout with SCVs. Like, I've already scouted with SCVs 3 times this game, and I kind of know what he's up to right now. Like, it's not going to be very easy for him to make a really fast transition straight out of Void Rays like that into something else. So right now he's probably just adding gateways. Maybe he's added a robo, and he's probably just continuing to mass up. So this push is also going to give me a lot of valid intel on like what he's doing just by seeing his army and taking a peek at exactly what his unit composition is. Alright, yeah, let's see what he's up to. Alright, so he's still getting Void Rays and Gateway units, so I want to just continue to mass up. So he does already have Colossus out, so it's time for me to start making Vikings.
Ready to plunder.
So now I just need to scout what's going on back at his base and just make sure there's nothing going on, because I just cleaned up most of his Colossus, so I'm in a really good position right now.
And while that battle was going on, I watched as your few units you sent down low took out his third. So now you definitely have the upper hand.
Yeah, for sure. I'm on 3 base and he's on 2 base. I think I need to scout a little bit more on the left side of the map. And there's that proxy Stargate. I know I mentioned where that was earlier. That's why I never scouted it. But I definitely should have killed that at some point. And now at this point, like, I have so much income, I can just afford to freely expand, take extra bases. I mean, once you get this many mules on the gold, your money just starts skyrocketing. And my main is finally mined out, so he's got to be close to getting mined out. So now it's just a matter of playing a little bit of a waiting game, figure out where his army is. Alright, so finally found his army. So he goes ahead, make sure you EMP all the sentries.
Wow. Siphon putting up a fight, but Panyuser pulling it out, man. I saw you doing basically everything there. You're sending out SCVs, you're using your scans towards the end there, you even using a factory at one point during the middle.
Yeah.
So scouting, it was definitely beneficial here in this game, but what do you think was the most beneficial scouting that you did during that game?
The most beneficial scouting I did during that game was probably the first scout when I ran into his base and I saw only the 2 stalkers, and then I also saw the 3rd gateway going up. To me, that just signifies that he's doing a 3-gate Void Ray push, so immediately you got to get that bunker up at your ramp, secure your base, and that puts you in a real good situation to win.
It was close, but perfect reaction. Panyuser gets the W. Panyuser, thank you so much for joining us here on the NOS Performance Playbook. For more tips from MLG pros like Panyuser, make sure to check out www.majorleaguegaming.com/NOS.